MSNBC.
Women may have come a long way in business, but they still have a long way to go. And let's talk about the media. A new report finds women did make gains running local TV newsrooms, reaching 30% for the first time. At top newspapers, men dominated front page bylines during last year's presidential election coverage, 3-1. And women make up just 9% of top grossing movie directors. Joining me to talk about all that and tomorrow night's Women's Media Awards, actress LILY Tomlin, host of the event, and Robin Morgan, co-founder of the Women's Media Center. It's great to have both of you here.
Terrific
Robin,
to be here.
let me start, because as I'm looking at these numbers, they seem like good news. Let's say, you know, it is a rise, but it's still 30% of women as news directors. Where are we now with women in media?
Not enough. Every year, the Women's Media Center, people can get it at womensmediacenter.com, publishes status of women in the media, and it could curl your hair. I mean, it really, you know, on the Sunday morning talk shows, the pundits, we're less than 25%. Here's the amazing thing, even on subjects which directly pertain to women, reproductive rights, equal pay, you know, really hardcore, men are consulted more often than women. 3-1 male bylines on newspaper articles. And when you move even higher up in the food chain, women disappear. It's like a handful of pale males controlling our media. So the aim of the Women's Media Center is to make women visible and powerful in media, not only because it's good for women and it's fair, but also it's good for men, it's good for journalism, it's good for democracy.
LILY, what made you want to be a part of this?
Well, for all these same reasons. I mean, it's anytime you know a group or know of a group that's really making impact and making strides effectively this way, you just want to be a part of it. You want to lend something to it if you're able to. And the programs that Women's Media Center provides are kind of amazing. They have She Source, so that all kinds of women who are top authorities in every possible area are available, and you know where you can find them, because so often in the media they would say, well, there are no women who know about atomic energy or something like that. And
we train women, you know, in media skills, and we do media monitoring for sexism and racism on air. We've even wrestled some apologies from certain
anchors. Are we getting any better in that area?
We're getting a little bit better. I mean, Chris Matthews apologized.
It really is a push uphill, though.
It is a push uphill.
A lot of these things. Weren't you? I mean, when you did stand up way back in the day, you were one of the few women who were doing that, and you've played roles. I saw you in Admission just this year, where you played the mom of Tina Fey,
right.
And you're kind of this like crazy hippie woman, but an important sort of message there. When you had been a very notable feminist.
She trailblazed for women in comedy. I mean, people didn't do characters.
Well, you've done it both sides. You've done it in real life. You've done it on the screen. I was just saying about the West Wing. You talked back to the president more than a few times. So, from a very personal perspective, what does this mean to you?
Well, it's just to make the country, the world better. Ultimately, just because we have a more democratic, egalitarian, fully formed human existence on the planet.
You know, we're the majority of people in this country, women, and so to have less of a voice in media reflects, and it also defines reality. So if women are not in an equal place there, what then is reality? She has guested on the radio show. We've got a radio show now, Women's Media Center Live, which I host. I'm a pretend you, and I host it, and it's on CBS, but it's also better, even yet, worldwide on the web at wmclive.com. And I've had her as a guest. I've had Christiana Mampour, who's one of the awardees. Amazing people. And they talk about things that they don't get to talk about anywhere else. Another awardee, by the way, who has been a guest, is your own Maria Teresa Kumar.
Who's often on this show and who is terrific. What do you think these kinds of awards, I'm sure you've got a million awards, you probably have boxes in your attic somewhere, but why are awards, do you think, in a situation like this important? Do they matter?
I think it matters in terms of public opinion, influence, just the essence of what's in the zeitgeist. And when you see people like Christiane receiving an award tomorrow night. She's greatly admired. She's certainly plenty smart and has done a lot of extraordinary things.
It's a Lifetime Achievement Award in her case.
What's it going to take to move to the next level, though?
I said, I was talking earlier to somebody, and I said, you know, it took 20 years just to get people to wear seat belts. So it takes this is a whole cultural thing. I mean, we've lived with this for eons, and some people live with it in other countries in a far deeper, more rigid and tragic equation.
I'll tell you this, it's moving faster because of the technology and communications. And it took 100 years for women to get the vote. And I think we're about halfway through the 50-year mark of this wave of feminism. But what's better now is the technology, is the communications, is people like you and the women who run this show, is, you know, is also that more men are seeing finally that it's in their self-interest as well. Not all men, some are dinosaurs, but so it is moving. It's just not fast enough, and we're in there making it move faster.
Well, in my early years, in the early years of this wave of feminism, I mean, do you remember where you were the last time it was pronounced dead? I mean, time after time after time. But
isn't it dead?
No.
Not dead. Not dead yet.
The thing that moved my heart the most, and we had it in the search even, is I used to say at gatherings and rallies, and I say this is about moving the whole species forward, not just half of it. Yeah. And I felt that so deeply in my heart that that's really what kept me pursuing it. I did think it was just vastly meaningful to all of us.
Well, good luck tomorrow. We're out of time. I'm gonna be encroaching on the next show. But Lily Tomlin, great to have you here. Robin, we always love having you.
Thank you,
Robin Morgan.
Thank you, Chris.
That's gonna wrap up this hour of Jansing and Company. I'm Chris Jansing. Thomas Roberts is up next.
Check it out.
I can't